What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Boone TV. I'm your host, Boone, and today is story time. So, today we're going to talk about my first time visiting Miami. And when I tell this story, I don't want it to sound like bragging, I don't want it to sound like an accomplishment. This is a lesson for you youngins out there, for you YNs out there. Okay. When I tell a story, it's so that you do the opposite of what I do. Okay. Because there are consequences that come with your actions. So, quick story. We go to Miami, me, a group of friends. It's about, I want to say about six of us. We get an Airbnb, mansion Airbnb in Miami on the beach. It's lit, right? So we go out on the beach all day. We're having fun. We're talking to girls, recruiting. We call it recruiting back in the day. We were recruiting girls to come back to the Airbnb because we're going to throw a party at this mansion Airbnb that we have, right? It's about to be lit. So after a full day of recruiting, we get back to the crib, we buy the alcohol, we get the speakers, we get the vibes right, the food and everything. It's going to be a great night. The night comes around, the women show up. It's lit. They're looking good. They're beautiful. We're going to pregame and then we're going to go out to the club. Now, this is where things went horribly wrong. As we started drinking, we drank too much. When I say we, I mean myself personally. I drink too much alcohol. So now I'm drunk. And it's okay to drink, but when you get drunk, that's when bad things start to happen. You start getting arrested, you start losing things, you get in accidents, all kinds of things start to happen at the drunk point. So be careful with that, YNs. I'm not doing any drugs, just the regular alcohol at this point. So we get drunk. Me and my boy, we're kicking it with two beautiful queens. We're playing some drinking games. We're having a good time, getting to know each other. We're like, hey, let's go to the club. So we get in the Uber, me, my boy, and then the two young ladies, the queens, as I mentioned. Y'all know who the queens are. And now we're in the Uber. We're having a good time. You know how it is when you're on the way to the club after the pregame, drunk, having a good time. You've now taken over that Uber driver's aux cord. He's now on whatever type time you're on as well. So we're having a blast. Next thing I know, this is when things started to get blurry. All of a sudden, I'm no longer in the Uber. I'm outside the Uber. My friend has left. The two queens have left. I am outside the Uber. I have left my phone in the Uber now. So now I'm downtown Miami. I'm on the streets. No phone, no friends. I'm lost, right? I'm SOL at this point. So being drunk, I was level headed. So, I'm like, you know what? Let me just sit down because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can really do. I can't call it my own Uber. I don't have my phone on me. I can't contact my friends. I don't have my phone on me. I'm really cooked at this point. So let me just take a seat and relax. So I take a seat on the curb. I'm in the street. And this is when I knew God was real. A cab driver came up to me. He pulled up on me. He was like, hey, man, you need a ride? I was like, at first I was skeptical because I'm like, why are you trying to help me? You trying to kidnap me or something? Like, I'm very kidnappable. Look at this face. It's very kidnappable. People want me. Anyways, he goes, you need a ride? He was Jamaican. He said it in an accent. I'm not going to do the accent. You need a ride, man. See, sorry. So I'm like, no, I'm good. He was like, look, man, I see that you're drunk. I see that you're out here stranded. Let me just take you back to your house or whatever, free of charge. I was like, word? So at that moment, that I felt like he was a good Samaritan. And in Miami, I learned later on they see these kind of scenarios all the time, people wilding out of control. So I get in the cab, dude takes me home, doesn't kidnap me. I'm now back at the crib. God bless. When I get back to the crib, nobody's there because everybody has now left the crib to go to whatever club that we were headed to. So I'm now at home by myself. I actually can't get into the crib because there's a passcode, and the passcode was in my phone, which I don't have. So what do? I'm drunk, so I'm thinking clearly. I go up to the window. I break in the house. One quick right hook. It wasn't even, it was a straight right through the glass, shattered the glass. Now, here's what I'll say. I didn't shatter it on the first try. Okay. Breaking glass isn't as easy as it looks in the movies. Okay. It took me like several punches to break in this house. Now, I'm breaking into my own Airbnb so I can just go to sleep. I'm that drunk. So after I break in, right? I break in, glass everywhere. I've cut myself. I still have some of the cuts today. I've cut myself. So now there's blood everywhere. But I don't care. I'm in my mind, I'm in the house now. I can go to sleep. So I go upstairs, go to sleep. A couple hours later, it could have been minutes. I hear banging at the door. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Police, open up. I'm like, police? What are they doing here? So I go down there, open the door. It's 10 police officers, guns in hand, big guns, not little guns. I'm talking big, big guns pointing at me. So you know what I did instantly? I was like, I live here. They're like, on your knees now. I was like, okay, I live here. And then once I got on my knees, police started questioning me. So we got a call about a break-in. I was like, man, ain't nobody break-in. I'm the only one here. But then I thought about it like, oh, I did break in. And I was like, so then I had to speak. This is when I knew my persuasion skills were on point because I was able to talk to the police. I'm like, listen, I live here. I'm a little drunk. I did technically break in, but I live here. You can call the Airbnb owner and we can figure this out. Now, the whole time this is going on, I'm still bleeding. Mind you, when you're drunk and you start bleeding, your blood is thinner. So it looks like, I turn around, it looks like a bloodbath in the house. There's blood on the couch. There's blood on the floor. There's blood on the staircase. There's blood on the wall. I touched the wall on the way up. There's blood everywhere. It looks like there was one of them John Wick scenes in there. It looked like an Equalizer scene in there, right? And I'm bleeding this whole time. I'm on the ground. They got me cuffed. I look at one of the female officers. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm still bleeding. I've been bleeding for like a half hour now. Am I gonna die? She was like, oh no, you're not gonna die. I was like, yes, cool. So they end up wrapping me up. They wrapped up my bruise on my wrist and then called the Airbnb owner. She said, yeah, he does live here, confirmed it. Police went away. Right. She was just like, you just got to pay for the glass. That's all. I was like, all right, cool. $800 down the drain. I was sick about that. Anyways, after the police leave, I look around. I go back to sleep. I wake up in the morning. All of my friends, mind you, we were in Airbnb with 6 people. It was like six to 8 of us there. They all are in my bedroom like, yo, what? They're freaking out. What the happened last night? Are you good? There's blood everywhere. Da, 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 da. And the only thing I could say, the actual story was so dumb that I was like, I can't say that in my mind. So I said, yeah, I got jumped last night. I told the gang that I got jumped last night by 7 dudes. One of them cut me, stabbed me, right? That's why the blood is there. But I fought all of them off. No worries, we're good. Now, out of the 6 of the people, about 3 of them believe me. The other 3 are like, this nigga lying. So, but I was like, okay, but yeah, it's a good story though. I can't tell the real story of me just breaking into my own house. That's dumb. We're going to roll with the story of I got jumped. So this is back when Snapchat was hot. I don't know if Snapchat's still hot. So what we did was, by the way, I still don't have my phone at this point. I took my boy's phone. I recorded everything that took place. I recorded the whole surrounding. So I recorded the blood on the bed, on the floor, on the walls, on the couch, everywhere. It was blood everywhere. So now I've recorded this story And I have now told everyone on Snapchat and Instagram at this point that I've been jumped and that I won the fight. So now the whole community, people where I'm from and things like that, they're like, "What? You got jumped?" Nah, nah, nah." They're hitting my boy up. My boy's phone is blowing up. He's got 100 messages. You would think he got drafted to the Suns. His phone was blowing up like that. So we're rolling with this story if I got jumped. Now, I need to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital, got stitches and everything, blah, blah, blah. I got a cast on. So this is now the next day. I'm like, I'm going to use this jump story to my advantage. Same deal. We went to the beach. I've got a cast on now at the beach. And it's interesting when you have like ailments, how it can gravitate more women towards you. So at this point, I got a whole cast on. I'm like, I'm talking to the huz. I'm like, hey, you're trying to sign my cast? You know what I mean? I got jumped last night. I defended my honor and my family. And they were like, oh my God, what happened? Are you okay? Da, 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 da. And then we did the same thing all over again. Recruited them, party, fun. That's the end of the story. Now, there are several lessons to be taken in there. One, I realized that I could persuade. I'm a good liar. I don't know if that's a good thing. Two, when I posted the Snapchats and the Instagram story, my whole family started hitting me up. I had a girlfriend at the time. She hit me like, "Are you okay? Are you alive?" People were actually worried, which I did feel bad about. So it was a little bit of cry wolf energy there. And then the third lesson is, listen, make sure that if you drink, you shouldn't be drinking if you're a YN. But if you do, you don't get drunk, okay? It's not worth it, all right? I could have ended up in jail. That's how people go to jail. People don't know they're one shot away from going to jail. You have a couple shots and you feeling good. Once you feeling good, that's when you stop drinking. But what we do is we feel good and we're like, man, I want to continue to feel even better. No, because that last shot's going to take you over the edge, and that's when you're going to jail. So, anyway, that's a story from my YN days. Y'all let me know if y'all like stories like these. I got a whole bunch of stories, not like these, but a whole bunch of kind of wild stories that I can share with y'all. But yeah, if you rocking with it, man, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that, and learn. Most importantly, learn. Don't do what I do. Okay, be better. I believe in you. Y'all have a good night, man. Boom TV signing off.